Testing. Good afternoon. Hope things are okay. Better than Paderborn. That was one thoroughly reliant on the in-play stats, looking for that first half goal to make it 1-0, or looking for that equaliser, but somehow they just couldn't get there. Again, another insurance would have helped that out, wouldn't it? I'm just going to try and get the link because I can't get to the where it is. So excuse me for a second. So today we'll be looking or trying to look more at neutral plays. So that will be something different because a neutral play would have worked in that particular match. Hi Stephen, nice to see you. And Trevor, nice to see you as well. So everything looks to be up and running. Thank you. Tennis-wise, not much going on at the moment. Qualifiers, don't tend to play the qualifiers. But some interesting names. Cameron Norrie, for example, well known to us. So that would be one which I would ring fence, particularly if Zumia won the first set. But let's go to the football. So Preußen Munster getting the equaliser. But absolutely falling apart Paderborn. It's just this season. Wolves have the opening goal against Tottenham Hotspur. It's a difficult match to predict. Really is, isn't it? Tottenham joined the ranks of Man United and other sides. Very, very difficult to read. This is not correct. It's not half time. So there might be some issues with Soccer 24 today. And we've got a possible 1-0 lead with a red card angle. That could be something to work with. 0-2. It's very disappointing because I think if it was 11 v 11, we could get Paderborn back into this. But Castaneda, an absolute tool. Second goal, a penalty. So it's just bad luck. You're going to have to take the hit. But yet again, that devilish scoreline we've seen, 0-2 at this stage of the season. When you want to secure a win, that's the best way to do it, isn't it? So we have to look at covering this. Neutral is one angle. Both teams to score no, of course, is another. And that should be something I think I'll be employing in any more trades today. It's just happening far too often. And that's the stage of the season we're at. So let's have a first look at the in-play stats. Antwerp against Ghent. I think that was just an Antwerp equaliser, wasn't it? Just popped up there. 1-1, 75 minutes. Is there enough motivation here? 5th and 6th championship round. So it looks like the league has split into two. So motivation will be looking for Champions League or Europa League or Europa Conference League places. But looks like there's an equaliser. I hope In-Play Guru's working today. It's just not updated the equaliser. There it is. Good. Jan Regensburg against Schalke. It's going against the market. 1.8 away side, but only the one shot on target. It's brewing up nicely in the Bundesliga 2. You can probably tell now why Dusseldorf leading 0-2. You can look at the standings. Leapfrogging Paderborn with the win. I didn't expect to see another defeat, especially that first half performance. I think if you would have seen the same as me, you would have got involved as well. Safety first half market scores would have limited your liability there. Okay, so Dusseldorf dominate. It's a very busy, well, it's not busy, is it? Because there's only 3 places at the top. But if you look from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, arguably, it's very competitive for those. For that, I think Elversberg's place, they've got a way to go to get to 50 points yet, this lot. And at the bottom, Preußen Munster could do with a win. So that could be one to target second half. Note with an extra 2 points, they're on 30, and Braunschweig will be in the relegation zone. So that could be a match. Paderborn have a goal back. Excellent stuff. Now, 12 minutes down to 10 against a side whose second goal was a penalty. Is this a goal? Is it going to convert? Let's see. Brest have opened up against Saint-Etienne. Good stuff from Paderborn. Can they get a second? And I don't know why I'm not hearing any alerts, which is troubling. It's a little irritating. That's probably because it's not on I haven't picked out the odds on, so I'm blaming myself there. So Paderborn, desperate need for them as well, isn't there? Can they really do it today? Very, very strong pre-match favourite, 1.67. So one more goal and they could be up and running. But they should have had this match won by half-time, to be perfectly honest. Schalke's not shown anything, but they were odds on pre-match. So if you can see a bit of value, maybe get 1.1 and lower to lay Jan Regensburg. They are 18th for a reason, 3 defeats in 4. Schalke, it's looking increasingly like another Bundesliga 2 season for them as well. Preußen Munster and Karlsruhe, Preußen Munster equaliser. It's a tough one to call. 16th against 10th. Well, it's top 3 only, isn't it? That's the problem for the motivation factor for the side in 10th. But 16th, a little bit too near the relegation zone for Preußen Munster's liking. Paderborn goal back. Can they make it 2-2? That was Ansa. Good stuff. One more for Paderborn, and I can get out of that match unscathed. Again, one more for Paderborn will do this. It will take Dusseldorf down to 46, and it will take Paderborn up to 46. So we're getting them all lined up in a row for that assault on Elversborg, who are in a bit of a winning run at the moment. So absolutely fascinating. Paderborn could do themselves a world of good with an extra point today. Again, psychologically putting this losing streak to bed. A lot of these sides look like they've been really pressured in this search for a top 3 berth, picking up a lot of L's along the way. So we live in hope for another goal from Paderborn. Saint-Etienne, no surprise at all. Desperate need for points, of course, is the only real recommendation for them. Albacete and Granada, it's all about league positions at this stage of the season, 50. So let's have a look at that one. Albacete and Granada. Just want to look for motivating factors, don't we? So that, just note that Antwerp goal disallowed. It might give you something to think about if their in-play stats continue to improve with a possible equaliser late on. La Liga 2, motivation. Well, the best thing, I prefer to click on the teams because then they get highlighted. That's the best way. You can look at it in an instant then. There we go. Granada 7th. Talk about motivation. A win, take them to 55, with Huesca suddenly losing 4 out of 5 matches and putting their promotion playoff places in severe jeopardy. Granada alive at the moment, winning and losing in turn. Won't like that. Albacete putting in an excellent run, wins and a draw as well. On 48, Albacete, the onus is on them really to get 2 extra points here to bring them to that important 50-point mark. Vitally important to break the 50 because that's where the playoff places are. So talk about motivation, Granada and Albacete. The question is, do we lay the draw now? And oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Albacete. Look at the shots on and off target. Maybe it's a bit nervy. Just the one shot on target coming recently. Shot off target. Shall we have a look at the seasonal research, or do we just want to lay the draw based on the extreme need for points? And indeed, one of those must take points off your nearest rival match as well. So we're stacking up excuses to lay that draw. But a quick look at soccer stats will just tell you if these two have had a good second half scoring record. There's no point really getting involved if they don't have a consistent scoring rate second half. So Albacete and Granada. Work our way down. And let's have a look. So recent form, 2-2, Albacete 3-2, scoring and conceding 2 goals, Albacete recently. So in really good form. Granada losing away from home, winning it at home. Is this a pattern that's going to continue? It's a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Failed to score in 2 of the last 3. Wow. On that basis, with Albacete, with 2 out of 3 home wins being clean sheets and scoring 2+ goals in all bar 1 since the 2nd of March. Wonder what the match odds were here. Did they favour Albacete? No, they didn't. It was a wide open affair. So the market's factored in the importance of the match. Form, coming into this on form, you're with Albacete, aren't you, strongly? Yeah, nothing much else. 2+ goals scored in the last 3 at home. 13th against 8th. 1-2 win for Granada, for Albacete last head-to-head. Albacete's record against the top 10 is, intriguingly, excellent, unbeaten. How about the goal scoring second half? Let's have a look. Well, we can ring fence 75th to 90th minute for both of these two teams. So you might want to exercise your delay muscles and see if we can wait till the 75th minute here, because that's when they start getting busy. We're on the 54th at the moment, so it's going to be a bit of a slog because there's a desperate need for points, isn't there? Another shot on target for Albacete. Market doesn't have a clue, so we've got to rely on the in-play stats and our own ideas. Elsewhere, Osasuna have taken the lead against Girona, 2.55 the favourite, that one. Copenhagen, this is broken into the championship group now, I think, in Denmark. 2.05 home favourite. Normally can be relied upon, but it's a tricky one because Brøndby aren't also rans either. Viborg and Silkeborg, 3 consecutive wins for Viborg. Normally a good league for goals. 2.25 home favourite. No strong opinion there. I think I'll take that off the watch list. It's just familiar names, is why they were on. Half-time, Lugano St. Gallen. Is there any motivating factors for these two? With let's have a look. Lugano odds-on favourite pre-match. So anything to motivate us in what is a small Super League. So 3 points can be extremely changeable. So this is, again, should go to the match. Click on the teams and then they will be highlighted. If we have live standings, we do. Okay. So this looks like it's been split up into a promotion group and a Super League relegation group. Right. So I don't know if sides can dive out of the relegation group into the championship group, because if that's the case, St. Gallen could do with a couple of extra points to be on a par nearly with Zurich. Lugano with a win, well, they'll be going up to 51 points, if points still matter. Not sure if they do or not. Or if this split is for a bit later on in the league, I'm not sure. But there's motivation for sides 7th, 8th and 9th to break out and into this group, possibility of European football. Right. No great, huge motivating, but we will see. So I wouldn't be getting too carried away with that one. And no shots. Well, the other one, Lugano St. Gallen, no shots on target at all. So, wow. Albacete Granada has my interest. Albacete is starting to warm up nicely. Are you going to lay the draw now, or are you going to wait? Try to get the 75th minute where we see the vast majority of goals scored and conceded by these two. Salzburg have the lead today. They've been on the improve. They had that Champions League blip, like Man City did. Just everything fell apart. It was a very strange period for both of those two sides. And it coincided with the new look Champions League. So I don't know if that was the reason. Just get rid of a few of these. Premier League, let's take a quick look. Liverpool West Ham, new manager syndrome for West Ham. Could stifle Liverpool. No Champions League for Liverpool. No excuses, basically. Chelsea are starting to boss it, as you'd expect, against Ipswich Town. Champions League football in mind for Chelsea, who have put together a good run. Wolves and Tottenham is one of the unreadable ones. Hope you're all okay over on YouTube. Gordon, I'm not logged in for alerts. Thank you very much, Gordon. I won't log in at the moment while I'm live, but thank you for warning me of that. I will have to do the old-fashioned way. Thanks very much, Gordon. So Chelsea warming up. Are they going to score before half-time, do you think? Certainly 1.25 suggests a goal at least before half-time. Can you get to the 20th minute mark with Chelsea and with Liverpool? They're warming up nicely, these two. They're at the odds where you expect at least a goal before half-time. I tend to try to look for 20 minutes because you've got the vast majority of the half to go. We can look at the 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted, if we can get any value from that. But Chelsea look to be the side to get us somewhere, you'd think. So we'll have a look at the Chelsea match. Moving on down. Half-time markets, potentially. Half-time score market. 1-0 at 3.15. 2-0 at 7s. Any unquoted at 17.5. I like the any unquoted price. 3 goals expected. It is a leaky Ipswich who, if they lack confidence, conceding early might let the floodgates open. But again, we're suffering with the liquidity problem, aren't we? Looking at any unquoted, probably suddenly moving to 16.5, 10.5. So we will see. Other options at the 20-minute mark. You could use this instead of 3-0 for Chelsea. But you're going to get a little bit taken off. Neutral, don't forget. We're going to be looking at more neutral angles today because of those 0-2 curses that keep occurring. And then this instead of the 1-0, well, depends on the liquidity of the half-time score market. It really does. If it starts fleshing out and we can get on, then this is my preferred option because you're getting better odds because you're specifying a score rather than the neutral half-time goals element. So we're getting close to the 20-minute mark. Certainly Chelsea are the ones you'd expect to get the goal before half-time. Copenhagen, if you fancy them, you know how reliable they are, whether they're motivated, whether they have a good record against Brøndby on a run of 2 consecutive wins. Just take the tennis off. Well, Liverpool just before the 20-minute mark. What a pity. But it was coming, wasn't it? And that's what 1.25, 1.3 suggests. 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted in the half-time score market. So we're just waiting on Chelsea. Liverpool really put the pedal to the metal and overtook Chelsea with the shots on target all of a sudden. So let's prepare ourselves. So this is an option. 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted. Variable profit Dutching, so you can really get stuck in with the any unquoteds. Just start building up a position there. 2-0, 7.8. Again, look, it's out and back again. Or have we seen a goal, perhaps? No, look, that's the problem. Look, it's all disappeared completely. Wow. Has there been a goal? No, there hasn't. Yes, there has. So, well read, but bad timing on my part. Looks like I'm not getting update. And we've got a possible early Christmas present. So I've saved a bit of dosh on 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted. And yet again, we're talking today about neutral. First half goals, 2.5 neutral at 1.09. Because Ipswich have scored first, it's really going to intensify the odds movement for this one because you're going to be expecting a Chelsea response. We've just got to wait for the market to reform. It's an obvious play, isn't it? You could even have a go in the half-time market. Insurance, even though you don't expect to need it, always recommended. You've seen how many 0-1s we've had. Covering the 0-2 today. It's just that part, but it looks like Ipswich et al. Are down, doesn't it? But both teams to score, no. To win the amount of money you want to play with, it's going to cost you nothing, isn't it? That covers the 0-2. That's got us safe from the 0-2. Okay, not cost much at all. So now you can go into the match odds. Go into the match odds here. And, well, you can't, can you? So you have to go half-time market. First half goals would have been the play, wouldn't it, had we got on at the 1.01. That was unbelievable, Jeff. You might want to, as a trading angle, try this. Over 2.5 goals. First half goals market over 2.5 goals. As a trading angle, if you can get a Chelsea equaliser, that's going to move. And what you could do, you could lay over 1.5 goals. Just practice as insurance. So see how that could work. We're trying to look more neutrally, aren't we, for this particular session. So we might uncover a play or two. You never know. So backing first half goals 2.5 with a goal already scored with 25 minutes to go looks a decent play. If it comes in, £113 minus 24 liability. If it remains 0-1, then you'll get this returned. 1-1 is the killer scoreline because it's the no man's land between this and this, isn't it? But hopefully you'll get a decent enough odds swing if we can get that goal early enough to suggest a 2-1. So let's wait and see. Jan Regensburg make it 2-0. So they're comfortable in the Bundesliga 2. Coming to the end of those matches. It's going to be a very, very exciting last 2 matches of the season. There we go. There's a Copenhagen equaliser. So that's for those of you who attended the live stream. A little Brucey bonus if you took that one on. Well done, indeed. Elsewhere, Lugano, St. Gallen. No great appeal. No shots on target. Or, yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, no shots on target. Hazel Alkmaar. 0-0 at half-time against Heracles. Is there enough motivation factors for them? Certainly for Heracles, you'd think there would be. Hope you're all okay on YouTube. Should we look at over 2.5 goal? It was 11-1. You're totally right, Stephen. Wouldn't that have been amazing? Because Ipswich scoring means the market's thinking it's going to come in because you're expecting Chelsea to fight back. So that could be something for us to think about in the future, Stephen. If an underdog scores in the first half over 2.5 goal. We don't know the strike rate, of course, but it's 11-1 odds. It's really good, isn't it? Really good odds. Well, you might miss the lay of Ghent. I did suggest with Antwerp scoring a little bit earlier, having that one scrubbed off. Albacete Granada, we've got 5 minutes to go. Sorry, 10 minutes to go. 9 minutes to go to the 75th to 90th minute where these two start going berserk, scoring and conceding consistently. And with the added motivation factor, we're going to get low odds for the lay. So they're just drip feeding shots on target, enough shots off target for both sides as well. But it's another nervy one, isn't it? Osasuna and Girona. It's 2.55 the favourite, which means you default to the market, to the in-place stats, don't you? Because I personally try to rely on the market to give me cues like this one, goals before half time. But when you got 2.5 the favourite, you can't default to the market because they don't know. So you have to return to the in-play stats and use them as your best friend. So Copenhagen, if you played that, well done. Maybe we'll get LA the draw. No draw in 4 for Copenhagen. But it was the equaliser I would have been looking at there predominantly. With Liverpool scoring before half-time, that's probably done and done. We don't know, though. It is a new manager for West Ham. Old Harry, Mr. Potter. Have to wave his magic wand to get anything out of today's game. Sparta Prague, 1.25 coming up. I'll get rid of Copenhagen. Just looking for that equaliser there. Get rid of the Liverpool match unless something... No, I'll keep that. Something might occur with the new manager syndrome. But there's no Champions League excuse for Liverpool. Saint Etienne, well, they have a goal back. Is that enough to help them out? Let's have a look. A goal for Saint Etienne. But it's 1-2. So it's normal service resumed, alas. Wasn't expecting much from them, but motivation. Take them to 26 with a win. And with Angers on 27, they are still within striking distance if they're going to have the great escape. Well, Girona equaliser there. Interesting. Lots of draws, lots of losses. Didn't I really have a strong opinion. 2.55 the favourite, as I say. In-play stats you default with. And momentum. These graphs are starting to be very useful. You can see Girona on top momentum-wise as the second half was progressing. Let's look at some other matches. Anything catch the eye? Bundesliga is upcoming. Stuttgart favourite against Werder Bremen, but Werder Bremen are on a run of 3 wins in 4 matches. Stuttgart on a run of 2 consecutive wins. It's a toughie. I've had this idea as a quick way to suggest the form side. It's just to look at the last 2 matches. So we'll be looking Albacete here. If we cover the scoreline, form-ish side Osasuna got the goal. Win-draw, we're looking at St. Gallen. Win-draw, we're looking at Heracles. Win-draw, we're looking at Pek Zwolle. Brest, form side. Wolves, form side. Well, Chelsea to come back. They are the form side. Draw, win, beats, win, loss. It's very, very basic, but it does pick up quite a few, must be said. So I'll keep an eye on that with interest. So, for example, here, Sigma Olomouc, loss, win. Sparta Prague, draw, draw, beats, loss, loss. And it's very, very basic. They could be playing for that draw, win. They could have been playing the bottom 2, for example. They could have been playing the top 3. So, but if you're looking at ultra recent form, momentum coming into a match, this could serve us quite well for the very, very recent momentum. Thoroughly with Wolves, isn't it? All the way through. 3 consecutive wins in all competitions. So it is momentum, and it is Premier League momentum. But they've, as you can see, we look at more in depth. 2 of them, the bottom 3. So on that basis, it's a very basic look, but it does tend to yield its fair amount of plays. Chelsea have suddenly decided to down tools, which is the usual when we tend to get involved in the half-time market. Just work our way down. Greek odds on at home will be worth a look. So the Chelsea, we've got Serie A beginning. Verona against Genoa. That's 0-0 at the moment. We'll have a look at the live standings for all of these sides, and indeed Serie B as well. Half an hour in. We had, I think, quite a few odds on favourites in Serie A today. So let's try to get maintain that neutral focus. And if you've got any ideas on neutral plays, then let me know. Rather than relying on a team to equalise, how else can we profit? Involving both teams. So that would be the conundrum. I might ask AI. Let's ask Chat GPT. So using Betfair's exchange markets for football trading, how do I word this? We need to cover how can we trade neutrally involving both teams when the underdog has scored the first goal and we expect the favourite to equalise. This ChatGPT is getting to know me, so knows I'm into betting, so hopefully trade neutrally. There we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. There we go. We've got that covered. 0-2 covered. And it's a beauty for this, isn't it? The ideal here is for this profit to exceed this liability. So it's a work in progress. I like to have everything covered insurance-wise, so that's a bit of a big jump. So what do you do now? Do you take the green? Otherwise, you'll take a bit of a hike in the losses. So it's a work in progress. So I think in future we have to just go straight into the overs market, don't we? I have to get out of this because I'll have two huge losses over me because that minus 24 if it remains 0-2. So 0-2 and 1-1 are the killer scorelines for this. So it's great though. Stephen Francis told us 11. 11. Did you get on, Stephen? You didn't, did you? What a pity. But in a totally amazing coincidence, Paderborn would have been a neutral profit. Chelsea would have been a neutral play. We have to get involved, I think, as well now. So this is at a half-time market. No insurance here. You're just going to have to hope that Chelsea are motivated enough to aim for Europe. They're not involved in the Champions League, are they? So there's no excuses. I've got both teams to score no covered. Don't forget, it cost you tuppence, didn't it? And it's well worth doing. But this isn't a neutral play. How would we play this neutrally? So talking today about being neutral, how would you play this neutrally? Well, what you could do, correct score market. Get rid of that 0-2, but the odds are going to be very, very high. Oh, Saint Etienne have done it. They're having a go against Brest. So playing neutrally. Any other home win, any other away win. Skipping 2 goals ahead, perhaps. So 2 goals ahead. Back the 2-2 and the 3-2 for Chelsea. No, that's not neutral, is it? Any other home win, any other away win is neutral. So it's going to get you thinking, how can I play this neutrally? And if we can find a way, look at that, that's great as well. We've got all that covered in the match odds market, so I can sit back. But 1-2 we don't have covered. That's probably going to be a bit too small, but I have to get involved for the telegrammers, I think. So laying over 2.5 goals now. This is another angle as well. Get one of these which is near to evens. And then one that's near to evens. This is neutral again, isn't it? Over 4.5 goals. I've just gone to the one which is near to evens, and let's see if we can lay under or lay over 3.5 goals. So we're backing over 4.5 goals, laying under 3.5 goals. So this is a experimental mode at the moment. Okay. But we might just happen to come across something which works. Or you could see you just stay like this and hope for a trade. Other ways to cover this 0-2, over 2.5 goals, of course. That will cover the current scoreline, but we've already got that covered, haven't we? We've got both teams to no score, no covered. So this would be the one. What's the liability going to be like? Let's have a look. £13 liability there for chance at 38. So there'll be £25 net profit if we can get that Chelsea recovery. Match odds. It's going to be an obvious play for you guys, isn't it? Match odds. 3.15. Do you trust them today? I don't know if there's any injury issues. Do you know of anything occurring? Chelsea have the Conference League. Is that important enough, Stephen, do you think? And Heracles have the opening goal against Saint Etienne. Is the Conference League important enough for Chelsea? Compare that to Champions League football. So, Legia Warsaw, easy as you like as well, easy pickings. So they can do what Arsenal did and just kind of relax. Although Arsenal did get the draw yesterday. Chelsea at home. Well, 1-0 wins could betray some concerns, couldn't it? Where's that second goal? But notably, starting to really come alive against the Saints. I think that was majority second half, wasn't it? Ipswich away. So you're right about the Conference League, but they've got a 3-0 lead. 3-0 lead shouldn't really be troublesome, should it? And Wolves make it 2-0. Excellent stuff. So where am I? I'm going to go to Telegram and just mention Chelsea Ipswich. 4 goals against Southampton might have us interested. So over at the live stream, we're looking at neutral plays, but we've got a traditional one here, perhaps. Chelsea 0-2 down to Ipswich. I've got both teams to score no covered already, so we've got the 0-2 covered. You could back Chelsea at 3.15, lay Ipswich half stakers liability at 2.34 or 3.6 as it is now, and hope for that recovery. But at the live stream, I've gone for over 4.5 goals as a neutral trade, so we'll see who's right there. So think neutrally, or here it would be the traditional half and half, wouldn't it? And realistically, well, we can look at the live standings, and you can quite clearly see it'll be a great win for the Tractor Boys, but not really going to benefit them greatly, I'm afraid. So let's take a look at the live standings. So Chelsea will benefit far greater with that move into the Champions League places with a win. And emphatically so as well, up to 56 points with a win today. Ipswich, 23 points. They're done. It'll take a miracle of a semi-religious nature for Ipswich to suddenly lose, West Ham to lose everything, Ipswich to win everything. Looks like they are doomed. We can ask ChatGPT. There we go, key concepts. Right, next goal, underdog leads, favourite scores, lay after goal. I don't know what that, oh right, correct score, underdog leads, 1-1 likely. I don't know key concepts, okay. So we can have a look at ChatGPT. Might give you some ideas for neutral. Anticipate team A will equalise soon. Next goal market. We don't have that really, do we, on Betfair? We don't have the next goal, do we? And if we did have it, it probably wouldn't be tradable. So that's something I should have asked ChatGPT. It should have picked it up that it was trading. Lay the same selection after the equalise. Okay. It's no talk of insurance here. Correct score trading. But the odds are huge. That's the problem with the correct score trading. Oh, back the 1-1. There we go. But that's not neutral, is it? You're looking for the team to equalise. So you're still backing one team. That's the problem with that one. Neutral could be 2-1, 1-2, couldn't it? Because that covers the next team to score. Match odds. After 0-1, back the draw. Well, that, again, you're relying on the other team to score. So you haven't grasped the concept of a neutral trade. It involves both teams, not the need for one team only to equalise. So think the K just keeps sticking. So let's see if we can crack this neutral with ChatGPT. And then no goals have come in, so you're not missing anything. So think, for example, goals markets. So let's see the answer comes back with then. And while they're doing that, we can have a quick look at the matches. Well, we know all about this one. Neutral was great, wasn't it? I had to cash out because I was in the no man's land between losing on the 0-2 and losing on the overs and losing on the unders. That's the problem. It's something we'll continue with today to see if we can solve that, because there's only a couple of score lines which will kill you, 1-1 and 0-2, if you've backed first half goals 2.5 and taken insurance out by laying over 1.5. So no surprises for these two, but just look at Tottenham's in-play stats. I don't have a trade. I don't have an idea. You might see Saint Etienne fight back, but it's a bit of heartbreak scoring 2 at home and not winning. Stuttgart and Werder Bremen don't have a strong opinion, but maybe the live standings will give us an argument for playing this one. Stuttgart, again, I didn't press on the team. Press on the teams and then you'll get them highlighted in the live standings section for you. So this is with Freiburg on 45 points. This is a promotion. Oh, no, it's a European place playoff, isn't it? 43 points for Stuttgart with a win. 42 with Werder Bremen with a win. Will take them within striking distance of Freiburg if Conference League is on their menu. Certainly Europa League, they could upgrade to that if Mainz continue to fail to win. So plenty of interest for Stuttgart and Werder Bremen. But I prefer it when the teams are kind of in the second tier and aiming for the promotion playoff places. There's far more emotion involved there, isn't there? So I hope you're all okay over on YouTube. Yeah, Chelsea Conference League. Okay, thanks for that. And I'll just give that a quick refresh. So Chelsea, you'd be looking at a recovery second half. But again, if we're looking neutral, we've got 4.5 goals covered. And we've got this covered as well. So it's an experimental mode, all this neutral. So I've got to think differently and see whether ChatGPT thinks on the same line as me. Neutral trade isn't about predicting who does what. It's about positioning yourself to benefit from the market volatility created by goals. Ah, spot on. There we go. Got to say well done to Mr. ChatGPT. I've decided to pay for this now because I think it's going to benefit us finding new trading angles. For example, this one, goal-based neutral trades. Over under 2.5 goals, benefits from any further goals. Both teams to score. He's got the idea now. Split the correct score. That's what I was saying. 2-1, 1-2, 2-2. So think you've got some neutral correct scores. So that may not have come to your mind. Goals before X minutes. That's betting though. I don't think we have those tables anymore on Betfair. They used to have the 0 to 15, 15 to 30 tables. Second half goal. That's what we do, isn't it? Capitalise on late pressure. Laying the draw, of course. He hasn't picked that one up. That's neutral. Yeah, good stuff. Goal timing markets. Goals in both halves. Goals before X. Well, now we're entering in. Can we use bookmakers as neutral plays? Split correct score trading. Back score lines like 1-1, 2-1, 1-2, 2-2. Lay 0-1 or 1-2 to hedge. So if you've got any ideas or if you feel there's any benefit to any of these, let me know. And if you want a copy of this, well, let's see if I can just put a copy. Can I put a copy down here for you in the chat? No, I can't. Okay. Hi, Sean. Nice to see you. Hammer's playing today. I think you're the Hammer's fan. If not, my apologies. Is there anywhere that I can put this for you to pick up? Maybe. If you wanted a copy of this, put it on Telegram for you. And if you want me to ask ChatGPT any more questions about any trading angles, let me know, because I'm using the paid for version, which has got a lot more research power. And I can also add in documents as well and ask it to do research, can do deep research. So let's have a look at that one. Please deep research the above topic and football trading on Betfair in general. Please, can you clarify the following? Yes. One, both. Want to research to focus on manual trading? Yeah, manual. Certain markets? No, all markets. Okay. So Stuttgart have opened up the scoring against Werder Bremen. You're looking for examples and data from recent seasons? Yes. And 5. Would you like a comparison? Just Betfair. Okay. Let's see if my 20 quid a month for this will give us some improved strategies or some new strategies. Let's just catch up with the in-play stats. Albacete and Granada. Wow, there we go. 75th and 77th minute. How about that for timing? I forgot all about that. I hope you got involved, you guys. I told you to wait for the 75th minute and lay that draw. As you can see, I often get a little bit distracted, but that was extremely well thought out. Desperate need for a win as well. So you've got that huge, huge pressure from both Granada and from Albacete. So I really, really hope you got on 75th minute. I couldn't be more exact if I tried. So you'd better take an action there. That's the whole reason you've turned up, I hope. Don't wait for me to do it. As you can see, I do get a little bit distracted. So let's have a look at that Albacete match and the difference that that has made. Wow. Giving you the exact times. I mean, what else do you want? Unbelievable, Jeff. As you can see, that for Granada, huge motivating factor for Granada. They are now happily ensconced in the playoffs. This is why, at this stage of the season, I prefer trading Secunda League, Bundesliga 2, Serie B, because of this huge motivation. La Liga B, huge motivation to get out of the league. In England, it's oh great, I can get into the Conference League. Fantastic stuff in the prep. For all these top flight ones, it's just European places. And if you're in the middle and you're not relegation threatened, your season is pretty much stifled. So brilliant performance there, Albacete. Again, do check timings if you want to get your ideal entry point, soccerstats.com. Just to remind you of that. Absolutely superb stuff. Goal times can give you your entry point into the market. 75th to 90th minute for these two. Just kept scoring and conceding consistently. So we go all the way down to the bottom here. And you can see it there. This is overall 31, plays 24. Home for the home side, 14 goals in total. Away for the away side, 17 in total. So I really hope you got on. 75th to 90th minute. Well, this is getting busy, isn't it? I'm going to pass this on to you if you'd like me to. Just let me know. So got these AIs. I'm really enjoying working with AI. It's like having an extra assistant with you. Can help me with my research and everything else. And you can ask it questions in play. You don't know if you get the right answers or not. But there's plenty of them to choose from. There's Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, lots of others. Copilot's been very good as well. Gemini, those are the main ones. We'll also be making music on AI as well. It's been fantastic. Salzburg and Stuttgart, Sturm Graz we don't need. Let's have a quick catch up with odds on favourites. I think I've done that already. So they're on my games facility here. Antwerp and Ghent, well, slightly odds on, just a shade of odds against. Hillerod and Koje, that was one which was a very strong play, but a lack of liquidity, alas. And this is all wrong as well, the Premier League. I don't know what they got wrong there. Saint-Etienne, and again, just when we get to these lower leagues, there's some problems with Soccer 24's feed. So that's disappointing. Yeah, as you can see here. So I don't know why. Because it is an extremely useful and important website, but it's correct here, but it's not correct here. So is Soccer 24? Is it Soccer 24 playing up for you guys or not? Just let me know in the comments, or because I can't get them to work. So it looks okay on InPlay Guru, but not on Soccer 24. It's a real pity because it's a brilliant, highly useful website. I think we'll get rid of this today because it's just qualifiers at the moment. Cameron Norrie winning the first set on a tiebreaker. So well done him. And Girona making it 2-2. Or do they? Last gasp. So have we got the updated correct scores now? Yes, it looks like we might have. Good. So we need to have a look at Italian Serie B, which is on at the moment, just to show you any motivating factors with these sides. So we've got 4 sides at 0-0. I think it's 0-0 at half time. Fiorentina, as you can quite clearly see, that Roma-Lazio derby last night, or is it? That's upcoming. Roma-Lazio upcoming. So these two could take points off each other in the hunt for a Conference League place, and Fiorentina could swoop in with a positive goal difference and take that place and upgrade eventually, if they can, to Juve Champions League. So plenty for Fiorentina. Girona. Well, Osasuna Girona. Okay, 2-1. Okay. Parma A little bit too near the relegation zone. A little bit too near the relegation zone for their liking. With a draw currently on 28. Verona starting to put that gap between themselves and the relegation zone as well. But Fiorentina, for me, have the greatest motivation of the sides in play at the moment. And the market fancies them. Do the in-play stats suggest they've turned up yet? Well, it's been very, very quiet from them. Parma have their own worries as well, don't they? No shots on target for Fiorentina just yet. And 4 consecutive draws for Parma. It's one of the important element there is whether those draws have been 0-0s. So let's do what we did with that Seconda B match where we nailed it, didn't we? So let's just go back and have a look at Fiorentina and Parma. So just the no shots on target Fiorentina. So get there and bring up the match. Just want to check recent form. Do they get rid of their 0-0s at half time? How do they get on against bottom sides Fiorentina, for example? Do they score mostly second half against them? We will see. So moving on down, putting together a run of 3 consecutive wins, a couple of 1-0s, but they're all coming at home. Sorry, first half. So that concerns me a little bit, as did those first half goals against AC Milan as well. So it's troubling that they haven't broken through first half just yet. But could do with a little bit of this. 3-0 there, 2-0 there, second half goals. Parma, that's what I was looking for, those 0-0s, just the one of the 3 score draws. Plenty of motivation. The last 0-0 at half time did see second half goals. They were playing bottom of the league. You'd have expected them to break through. So really, we'll be looking at second half goals, but it might be a tight one with those 2 recent 1-0s for Fiorentina, the reason for the 0-0 at half time. Challenge table, 8th against 16th. Fiorentina's record again, tight. A couple of worrying 0-0s against 18th and 19th, a couple of 1-0s against teams either side of Parma's. So they might do it. It might be one of those, again, if we're talking neutral today, we're talking purely neutral. This is a good one for neutral, isn't it? Fiorentina and Parma. So let's have a quick look at this one from a neutral punting perspective. Well, Hibs, the odds on Fav's got the lead there. So what I would do here, if this could be a tight one, given all those 1-0s, knowing that, they'll probably score a 47th minute goal. But I'll just show you with £40 because that will just increase your liability and make it, because a lot of these don't come in. And are you willing to throw away this amount of money if we get a quick Fiorentina goal? If it get matched. So I'm looking to lay over 0.5 goals to cover the 0-0. And then I'm looking to sit on it. But given we're neutral today as well, I can show you another idea. So that's why I like £20, because this will be £6. Those will soon add up if you get 5 or 6 of them in a row, where you've picked the draw to end second half, but this lot have scored 46th minute. So just be wary of that. Now, talking neutral, why don't we have a look at over at 2.54? Try this one out. So follow me if you want, but please remember I'm in experimental mode for this session. We did want to look neutrally, didn't we? So you've laid over 0.5 goals to cover the 0-0. You've backed over 1.5 goals in the hope of a goal at least. And again, the killer scoreline here will be the difference between that one and that one, which is 0-1, 1-0. That'll be the killer scoreline. So you really need a quick reaction from Fiorentina and the market expecting a 2-0. But if the profit made is greater than, if the profit made a single goal is greater than that 14, you've got a chance. Now, talking from a draw perspective, let's go back to that. Laying over 0.5 goals covers the 0-0, and then we're going to sit on it, hoping this is going to be a tight affair. And maybe Fiorentina 70th, 80th minute 1-0. I'll take that all day long. We're looking for this draw to get as low as possible for us to eke out a little bit more value. So, first neutral idea, laying over 0.5 goals at half time, backing over 1.5 goals second half when it's 0-0 at half time. So let's see if that neutral element produces a profit for us. Just getting back here, that's it. So I hope you're all okay over on YouTube still. Thank you very much, Gordon. So well done, Albacete Granada. If you did play, do let me know. If you did get on 75th minute, or if you've got a hard luck story, you got in 74th and 75th and 10 seconds, and they got the goal. Let me know. Lugano St. Gallen, I don't see any huge motivation unless St. Gallen. Okay, unless Sparta Prague want a push into that top half, which looks to be European football in, where is it, Switzerland. Heracles and AZ Alkmaar. This is another one of those matches, isn't it? I think AZ might have European football, so we've got to be ever cautious of these potential upsets. We've got to be very careful. Access denied because of the VPN. So the only other way to check AZ Alkmaar have upcoming European football is to perhaps look at their recent form and see. AZ, that K I'm having trouble with. There we go. So just have a look at the recent form. Were they involved in Europe? They got a second leg, like Rangers, putting in second string. No excuses. They were playing Tottenham recently. They're not in any second. This is a kind of a performance of a side who have Europe on their mind. But only evens, over evens favourite today. Heracles, desperate need for points. It's one of those matches. AZ Alkmaar on 46. Well, Heracles, I thought they would be in the relegation zone, but what a superb performance. No wonder they're holding on to this 1-0. This is one of those must-take points off your nearest rival matches, isn't it? I wouldn't be taking on Heracles at the moment. AZ Alkmaar, enough motivation for them. Just move them up, but they will remain in the Conference League element. They need to upgrade to 50-plus points to get anywhere near Europa League and Champions League. But Heracles, newly promoted from last season, I think with Pek Zwolle, or was it the season before? Brilliant at the moment. Just keep an eye on AZ. They are a quality unit, but this is one of those must-take points off your nearest rival. It's certainly one of those you'd be laying that draw. Was it 0-0 at half-time? I'm ruining that. Pek Zwolle, not favourite, taking the lead against Twente. Is this important for Pek Zwolle? Is it important for Twente to get points on the board? Let's have a look. Well, Twente, with a win, break into that 50-point barrier I was just alluding to a minute ago. And that gives them a realistic tilt at proper Europa League, Champions League. So plenty going on with Twente, isn't there? Pek Zwolle, well, with the bottom three underperforming markedly and staying below that 30-point barrier, Pek Zwolle are safe enough, but take 3 away, they're back down to 30 points. And they will be the only side above the relegation zone. Wow. Well, the last side above the relegation zone. So there we go. We're up and coming with Chelsea now. It's rather obvious play, that one, but I'll take that all day, 2.3 plus for a Chelsea side needing Champions League football. Motivating factors at this stage of the season, absolutely vital. If you have a look at our positions, they're not going to be hugely profitable. So let's have a look at that one. But the important thing, let's have a look from a neutral player's perspective as well. We need to see whether these markets can allow us to trade. So there we go. It's a start. Now, if you wanted to just take the green and run to the hills, I'm not too sure on how the market works in these later markets. I've never been up here before, but might give us an angle. So let's see how that will progress. Do you want to cash out now? Do you want to shave a bit off the liability? We've got this covered as well. So this is showing what you could do. No, because you're still in a loss position. What we're really £9.31 loss and a £7.42 there. But so we are expecting another goal. So we will see. It's all experimental. This insurance might not work, mightn't it, if we don't get there quick enough. But it's the beginning of the second half, so I think we might be well up for this one. So we will see what we will see there. First goal up and board for Chelsea. Just have a waltz through the live matches. Sturm Graz red carded against Red Bull Salzburg. Any motivation for Red Bull? Are they struggling? Third place, very, very, very rare for them to be third. They are currently in the Conference League qualifier, 1-2 down. So Sturm Graz, can they really be opposed? Look at the motivating factor for them. Champions League qualifier for them. It was one of those matches pre-match which suggested a nervy affair. 1.91 only for Salzburg. If you fancied it, let's try that technique I was talking about earlier. See if it's applicable, because it's another neutral technique. So let's have a look. Well, it's not neutral, it's insurance. That's the difference. Sturm Graz. These are truly neutral, aren't they? You're covering goals only. Red Bull Salzburg and Sturm Graz. She'll be laying over 3.5 goals. So again, experimental mode with that red card. Laying over 3.5 goals. Cover the 1-2. How much is that going to cost? Okay, now can we lay Sturm Graz? And the difference could be the profit. So let's have a look. 12-second delay here, so just be careful. Tend to get caught out. And you can see the market empties, and I'll have to start all over again with another 12 seconds. Nope, been matched. So if this was to finish with anything other than a Sturm Graz win, I'd make 62 quid here. Minus 47.20. So that's a bit hefty, isn't it? So that's about 13 quid profit, is it? So 62 minus 47. So that might need a bit of working too as well. It would be a net profit, certainly. And this is, I think, the price you pay if you go neutral. No, it's not neutral, no, it's insurance, isn't it? But if you were going neutral here, how would you play this one? If you were expecting goals, move up a couple of places, or you don't have to play at all, do you? You can always wait a little bit longer. So I'll give that one a go, see what happens. 47.57. That's 15 quid, which for me, not too shabby, given the stakes involved. But of course, a 1-3, and we are at death's door. So be very, very careful there. They have put together a good run recently, We're not seeing anything from AZ Alkmaar, are we, in reaction to Heracles? But it's a vital win. Take them out of the relegation zone, keep them up above the problem area. So I wouldn't be taking them on just yet. We're not seeing a reaction yet. And this is where these momentum graphs are helping as well. We're not seeing a reaction yet from AZ. A bit flat. Pek Zwolle and Twente, we're not seeing a reaction from Twente yet either, are we? Well, they pre-match fav, 1.95 pre-match fav. Plenty of motivating factors for Twente as well. Just European football. Saint-Etienne and Brest. If you're a Saint-Etienne fan at home, you can't ask for more. But Brest involved in the Champions League earlier this season. 3 wins in 4, beating Monaco as well recently. You're not expecting much change out of that. So really good performance from Saint-Etienne. Wolves and Spuds, I won't be doing anything here. But if you want to be laying Wolves at 108, by all means do. I haven't looked at the Tottenham team sheet. They're not a reliable unit at the moment under old Ange. And the second goal, an own goal. Stephen would have told us that, I hope. Don't have an opinion. Sorry about that. Johnson, Solanke, Tell, Madison. That's a new name for me. Old Tell. Saar, Bazuma, Spence. So are there still some injury concerns for Spuds? Dragosin, not really missing him. The ponytailed warrior at the back. Richarlison on the bench. Kulusevski on the bench. That suggests European football? Surely not for the Spuds. Yes, indeed, it does. There we go. That sums up the 2-0 scoreline there perfectly. I'm not going to be getting involved. European football for the Spuds. So it's a very, very important consideration. So let me just, hopefully I can gain access to it now. Yeah, all these websites with a K in them. My K's missing. So uk.soccerway.com will just show you upcoming you need to know. And if you want to look individually, oh, sorry, just reconnecting, it seems. Looks like you may have missed me for a moment or two. So I hope I'm back. Hope I'm back up and running. I was just showing you uk.soccerway for you to find out who's involved. You can do it in 2 different ways. Click on the teams and scroll down. You can do that anyway at uk.soccerway.com because it's sorry, at Soccer24 because they'll have played the first leg. So as you can see here, CL upcoming on the 17th. That could explain why Ipswich Town are leading 1-2. Couldn't it? You're expecting an all-out Chelsea performance. We're getting that curse again, aren't we? That's the first method. Second method is just to use the calendar here. So we've got upcoming on the 15th, Champions League, Aston Villa, PSG, Dortmund and Barca. 16th, we've got Real Madrid, Arsenal, Inter and Bayern. Now you can see why there were some slight struggles from the Ars yesterday. And Bayern Munich as well had a bit of a battle with Dortmund. Thursday, we'll probably see AZ Alkmaar. Or are they involved or not? Athletic Bilbao involved with Rangers. That explains why Rangers couldn't be bothered earlier on against Aberdeen. They're out of the title race as well. Lazio, Bodo Glimt. Lazio got the Roma derby. They can't relent in that one. They must give it their all despite this Europa League clash. Now you know possibly why Tottenham are floundering a little bit. They're away at Frankfurt on Thursday. Man United and Lyon. And in the Conference League, Djurgården, Chelsea. I didn't think they'd be that distracted. Fiorentina playing today, 0-0 at half-time. Is this another reason for their underperformance as well? Real Betis as well playing a little bit later. So very important that we acknowledge the remaining sides because quite clearly they're deep in the tournament. And it means a lot this late on. So that could be the reasoning behind this huffing and puffing from Chelsea. Why I normally prefer at 0-2, both teams to score no and the 1-2 scoreline. But we were expecting Chelsea to come out fighting. This could have been a tempting match to maybe rest a few players, and an own goal as well might suggest some potential struggles for Chelsea today. Jackson up front, Palmer, Neto, Madueke. It's a strong side. Caicedo, Fernandes. On the bench, Nkunku, the attacking option. Both Fofanas are out. So we will wait and see there. Liverpool, job done, and we now know about Tottenham. So it's important to have that European element in mind today, and indeed pre and post. Chelsea are warming up, 100 plus attacking pressure index. Can they sort it out? They've got European football or Champions League football to try and nail with a win today. 2-2 before half time. Sorry, before 60 minutes would be very nice indeed. Heracles and AZ. Heracles look like they're going to survive this one. This could be a season changer for them in Europe, couldn't it? I thought I was looking at the relegation zone with Heracles, but no. 12th place, and they're still got a shot at Europe. Got to put those draw sequences to bed. 20 equalised against Pek Zwolle. I didn't play that one. Must have been a late one, 78th minute indeed. So we can get rid of Wolves and Tottenham now. We don't need to follow. Second halves, Verona. Let's just take a look at any motivating factors in the second half, 0-0s. We now know Fiorentina are involved in Europe, so might struggle today or take a while. That's music to my ears if I've laid over 0.5 goals. So let's just have a look at each match individually. A goal back for the Spuds. So that is intriguing. I'm not going to play. Can't read them. If you can't read them, don't play them. So let's have a look at Fiorentina in isolation, Parma in isolation. We've done that already. But the standings could tell us a story. Fiorentina with a win, as you know, would get that European place, at least temporarily, from Lazio, depending on what happens in the Roman derby later on. Parma, still a little bit too near the relegation zone. So again, that motivation for both teams, tick. Yeah. Could be a tight one, tick. So a good one for the strategy. Genoa and Verona, mid-table mediocrity. I think we came to that conclusion earlier on. So I won't be targeting that 0-0 to end the Girona one. So that's the only Italian ones at the moment there. No, they only play the Fiorentina play, sitting on that. So let's see how that looks. Fiorentina and Parma, laying over 0.5 goals. There we go. We've got that profit at the moment. So we've got £13.60 liability. What's it look like if I lay now? Lay that draw now. £13.60 liability, take away from that. You can get in earlier with an increase in stakes. Normally it's £20 for me and I have to wait longer to get a decent return. So that is okay, isn't it? 60 minutes, but can I wait a little bit longer? The only way this bet will lose is if the match ends in a score draw on the Diana doors. So just be careful with that one. I'm expecting a tight match for a little bit longer because of the European element, because of the recent 1-0 wins as well, and because of the in-play stats not being that emphatic. Maybe if they start lighting up an in-play stats of the attacking pressure index, I might dive on and lay that draw. So it's working nicely at the moment. Parma are keeping Fiorentina quiet. Fiorentina have European concerns, could have rested a few key players. are on an incredible run at the moment as well, and have the lead over Celje from the first leg. So they got that element of comfort. But recent wins at home, a couple of them have been 1-0s, but they are on an excellent run at the moment. Intriguing stuff for Fiorentina. Can I lay the draw a bit later? So waiting patiently for that one. Just have a look at outside of my focused matches. Still odds on. At a 1-1 draw is always a good sign. Did we miss a trade here? No, we didn't. So that could be of interest. If you're an odds-on favourite and it's a 1-1 draw, then there's a clear fancy. Rijeka odds on at home in Croatia. Just pass that one on there. Midtjylland I do like, even if it's threes. Midtjylland are one of those sides that in-play stats tend to suggest a going day for them, certainly. Peterborough against Birmingham, EFL Trophy. This can't be the Peterborough and Birmingham. Is it? Right. Ah, poor old Heracles conceding late to Twente. The better side, Twente. Ah, they'll be in a whole heap of bother now. And it's 3-1 to Wolves. So I'm not going to be playing that. Would have been good if Tottenham scored first, I think, to take them on pre-Europe against a Wolves side who are doing very well at the moment, form-wise. Again, we can have a look at the form lines, recent 2 matches, see if that's working out as a good indicator. Just having a look, see if there's anything else. Norwegian Cup. So no Eliteserien this week. We're looking forward to that next week with Bodo Glimt. It'll be a blessing for Bodo because they're involved in Europe. Spanish Segunda, so there's a few left over. So this is, again, let's have a look. Win, draw, draw, win. So these are the form side. Win, draw, the form side, but did score first. Form side here, leading so far. Form side, tricky one. I'll go for win over draws all day long. So Genoa. Form side Juve Stabia, will they score first? Form side Frosinone, will they equalise? By form, I mean just the last 2 matches. It's just an experiment. Draw, win, plays draw, draw. Fiorentina, the form side in the last 2 matches. That draw, win would trump win, loss. But don't forget pre-European club competition as well for Chelsea. Draw, 2 form sides. There we go. Sigma Olomouc have the win. Hibs, win-win, plays loss-win. Draw, win, plays loss-loss. And we got that one leading. So I don't know if it's a consistent pattern or it'll give you an idea, particularly if, say, Varazdin score first. We've got a side with 2 consecutive wins and 1-0 wins at that. So that would be a good trading play, wouldn't it? So we're just waiting for Chelsea to come alive. Because really Ipswich have very little left in the tank, really. Nothing to take them out, get them out of the relegation zone, unless a whole heap of bother, unless some of these sides get tariffed by Donald Trump, perhaps. That could help Ipswich. Chelsea, motivation, even the 2-2 takes you to 54 points. Upgrade on goal difference to the Champions League phase. Even a draw. We're stuck in no man's land on the 64th minute. This is the problem with these pre-European nights, isn't it? Ask Tottenham, ask Chelsea. Pre-European. Well, West Ham, they would be ordinarily in a whole heap of bother, 4th from bottom, but with the bottom 3 so poor this season, they are getting away with it. Old Harry Potter et al. So let's go through our watch list again. Any matches evolving? I just feel sorry for Heracles, really. Didn't really see anything, did we, from AZ to suggest an equaliser, although suddenly coming alive. All it needs, of course, is a shot on target. Zwolle, and again, sob story for PEC Zwolle, need points. I think this is a bridge too far for Saint Etienne against Brest. I don't have an angle in, wouldn't be laying Brest. If the scoreline comes in, I might look at it again. If it 3-3 comes in, it would be one for the draw. Verona and Genoa, mid-table mediocrity. I can't see any carrot and stick for me with these two. We can ask ChatGPT, unless it's finished my report. In play and pre-match report. So I can pass this on to you guys if you'd like. Although it all depends on the kind of sources. Maybe I can give them better source and get a better reply. But I'll certainly share some of this, if it's good information, with you. Fourth against fifth in Italian Serie B, Cremonese. Oh, well done, Heracles. The goal disallowed. Love it. Love a bit of Heracles. So we're going to Italian Serie B. We're going to just have a look. Should be up here. The live pinned matches. There it is. Okay, we just want to have a look because we're getting quite late into the match. We know all about this lot. But how about these two? Are there any stories with Cesena and Frosinone to suggest that one of these two could really do with a goal? So we go to the standings here, the live standings. We'll tell you the placings with the current scoreline. So Cesena doing their life a world of good. With that 1-0, will remain in the playoffs or enter the playoffs. Frosinone, it's a must take points off your nearest rival, isn't it? Must take points off Cesena to bring them back to 43. And Frosinone with a win will go to 40. So vital win for both teams. One of those you'd take the draw on, but I'm not sure I would necessarily take on Cesena just yet. Cremonese, though, we've got an odds-on favourite at home. The market was expecting something. Why hasn't anything evolved yet? Do Juve Stabia have anything to save them or to cling on to? Let's have a look. Wow. This is a battle for just upgrading from a quarter-final place to a semi-final berth to eventually with 60-plus points automatic promotion. So this is a key royal battle. Juve Stabia have the greater motivation with a win because if we get a win, they'll move to 52, be on the same points as Cremonese. So Cremonese with a win will move to 55. Won't benefit greatly, but will cement their top four berthing. And there we go. The scoreline has come in. That was one for a lay the draw, wasn't it? I was going to come to that conclusion eventually. But with Juve Stabia scoring, getting themselves, as I've exactly told you, exactly on terms. So I didn't get to that match early enough to lay the draw. So a lesson for you. Your 0-0s at half-time. Check them out. Check out the motivation factors. And had I done that, that would have been ring-fenced, certainly. Have a look at the in-play stats because we've got an odds-on favourite at home in Cremonese, but we've got a top 5 clash, so I don't know why they're odds-on. But we can, 10 shots off target. Again, if you're looking neutral, how would you enter this neutrally? So let's see if we can do a neutral play here, Juve Stabia. This is looking good now because look at the reward if we get a goal, up to 51 quid. So I might go for that. 12-second delay as well, so bear that in mind if you're laying the draw. Bear in mind too that I've got this 0-0 insured. That didn't get taken. Yes, it did. So net profit 51 minus 13 if this match ends with a win for either side. So talking about neutral today, that's a neutral angle, isn't it? Well, there's a goal. Important goal for Frosinone there. Vitally important. Just got there at the wrong time. So in future, any nil-nils at half-time, check them out at this stage of the season. I would have ring-fenced that certainly for a lay the draw, wouldn't I? So with that in mind, any nil-nils at half-time, Racing Santander, Castellón, Real Madrid, Champions League, away from home. Could be a banana skin for them, I fear. Nil-nils at half-time. No, some of these matches just kicking off. Again, Genka Baluki and Karagumruk, this stage of the season, nil-nils at half-time. Let's check out Kayserispor Kazımpasa as well. So let's check out any motivating factors. Kazımpasa and Kayserispor. Kayserispor just above the relegation zone as things stand. And even will be if they lose. They'll take a point away. Kazımpasa with a win takes them to 42. Yes, indeed, 42. And with the top four, 48 being the best there. Red card, we can try out the red card strategy again, being a neutral day. So let's have a look at that one. Kayserispor and Kazımpasa. So we've got a red carded. Do we have a red carded team leading? That's what I'm looking for. No, we don't. We've got a 0-0. So let me just see how do we attack this one? Lay over 0.5 goals, certainly. That would cover the current 0-0. No, wouldn't do that. No. How could we do this neutrally? Laying the draw, of course. Yeah, laying the draw. That would be a neutral play. Can we cover the insurance? It's a bit high, isn't it? Laying over 0.5 goals. Covers a 0-0. Costs a lot. Laying the draw is not going to win you enough because that red card is keeping the odds artificially high, aren't they? So that's a failure. That ain't going to work. Because of the red card factor is skewed with the true odds. But it's certainly won a late neutral lay of the draw just because Real Madrid quelling their nerves pre-Champions League with the opening goal. Verona Genoa, I'm not going to play. I've decided I'm not going to lay that 0-0. I can't see the motivating factor. Could see it here, Cremonese, Juve, Stabia. With that 72nd minute goal. Should have laid that draw there, shouldn't we? Just doing the research too late there. 10 shots off target for Cremonese. Pre-match odds on favourite. I'm not sure. How do you do a neutral play here? Let me have a look. Cremonese and Juve Stabia. How do we do a neutral play? So we could lay over 0.5 goals. No. If we're looking for an equaliser, we would be backing over 1.5 goals, wouldn't we, as a neutral player? So wouldn't that be the neutral play? Backing the draw as well, but that involves Cremonese scoring, doesn't it? So that's troublesome. This involves both teams scoring. So over 1.5 goals would be the neutral angle, but then how do you take insurance out on over 1.5 goals? Yeah. So it's an intriguing one. I may ask ChatGPT. Any ideas, anybody? Over 1.5 goals? And then lay Juve Stabia. That wouldn't, let's try that. So it's an experimental day with the neutrals today. So please bear that in mind. So over 1.5 goals, lay Juve Stabia. We've got the insurance covered. It's not neutral, is it? It's not neutral because if it becomes 0-2 to Juve Stabia, I'm in a whole heap of bother. You could back over 2.5 goals. That's the neutral play, isn't it? I've just spotted that. That's the neutral play. Highly unlikely to come in, but we're looking for an equaliser. There we go. That could be the neutral play, couldn't it? Over 2.5 goals. So maybe a rule jumping up 2 markets. 1, 2. That's more like it, isn't it? Covers the next goal scorer, covers an equaliser, covers a potential for a win. If this is 82, 83 minutes 1-1, you're not going to see 11.5 there, are you? I hope. I hope you're all okay on YouTube. You're all a bit quiet, but no problem. I hope everything's working okay. So get rid of that one. I was only looking for that draw to end. Similar story, looking for second half goals there. Fiorentina, I've laid the draw, but I've got the 0-0 covered. A real excellent match for that strategy, just uniquely, given the recent 1-0 wins. They're involved in Europe, etc. So really good example of a neutral trading strategy. The only loser is a score draw, and we're not hoping for a score draw with 12 minutes to go, with Fiorentina generally winning 1-0. Pre-European club competition, quite obviously, although it's the Conference League for Chelsea, it shouldn't be impacting them, but it is. 0-2 and 1-2 is my normal covers for a 0-2 lead. Neutrally, we're not getting any joy. Yes, we are. Let's go and look at the neutral markets in the Chelsea match. Cremonese, Juve Stabia. Is it? No, it's with. Have we got an equaliser? Let's have a look. There we go. There we go. Neutral in front of your eyes. Let's have a look. Got to wait for the market to flesh out, of course, given the league we're in. Look at that. Look at that. You're profiting on two camps here. Well, that's too illiquid. You can't cash out. Wow. So we're losing 40 quid here. 75 here. So net profit on that one. Sorry, shouldn't have cashed out. Should be waiting for these markets to be more, to tighten up. This one we can't do anything with either. And great stuff. Chelsea and Ipswich 2-2. And just as we were about to look at our neutral Chelsea plays, let's do it again. I must admit, I do prefer neutral if I can continue to do neutral. I'm getting sick of these 0-2s. This stage of the season as well, they just keep turning up. And for obvious reasons, of course, they need the win. There we go. We're losing £13.20 here. We're in the position now where this is the negative element of it. We're in no man's land now. Do we stick or twist? We've made a loss here. We're going to make a loss here if we don't see another goal. So that's the flaw of this. Maybe the insurance element is the negative element here. But going to the match odds, you're starting to see a green screen. So I'll just mention that to telegrammers. Chelsea 2-2 with 10 minutes to go. So you're starting to see a green screen in the match odds. So you could take that if you want. Such a small loss on the draw. That's my reason for doing that for you, to incentivize you to stay in. If you just wanted to make sure that Ipswich don't cock things up for you late enough in the day. You could look at just doing some variable profit tidying up. No, this is the way I'm trying to get here. That's it. Just to win back that 40 quid. It's going to cost you a very small amount, just a little bit of housekeeping. Up the draw odds a little bit, up the draw loss a little bit, but there we go. It's dropped to 12.5, maybe a corner or a set piece. You don't want a late heavy loss like that. So that's out the bag. This the loss, you could get rid of this as well. But the reason I do this element is to give you that small loss on the draw to hope you stay in for that 56 quid. But if you wanted to dot the I's and cross the T's, then we'll have to tick all of them. How much is it going to take off just to take that 7 quid off for... Oh, sorry. So let's see if I can figure that out. No. Leave it as it is. £7.57 for goodness sake. I'm not pining for that too much. Fiorentina Parma. Let me just show you using that draw strategy second half. Those of you waiting entry will benefit greater. If you'd have waited now, £111.11 possible profit with a single goal. Wow. All the while, we're sitting happily on. We can actually get out with a net profit here as things stand. So we're happy. We can take an £18 loss and a 26 profit there. So we're in a perfect position, but this is a reminder to you, the later you wait, the bigger the profit. 1.32, £125. Risk-free play if it's not a score draw. So an excellent neutral idea, that one, on neutral day today. We've seen the neutral negative here, haven't we? The 4.5 goals. We're just about breaking even at 2-2 with 10 minutes to go. So for the 4.5 goals to come in, you need goals to come earlier. To make a profit in the match odds, you just need that 2-2, don't you? You're expecting Chelsea to get the win today, aren't you, really? Stuttgart and Werder Bremen, I don't have a strong opinion on that one myself today. Nope. Slovakia and Sigma Olomouc, well, yet again. Did we get that equaliser? No, they scored first, didn't they? Win-loss, scoring first. Win-draw plays win-loss. Win-draw is equalised. Win-win against win-loss, they're leading. Win-draw is leading, draw-loss. Would be amazing if football was that simple. Midtjylland, well worth following when they shout like this, even though the market didn't fancy them. It's a going day for Midtjylland today, so I would ignore pre-match odds. I think they're in a very going mood. So we'll wait and look on that second half to see if they can end the second half 0-0. Again, that could be one for us, neutral player second half. Young boys, not favourites today. Normally do deliver quite well when favourite in the Swiss Super League. Just get rid of a few of these. Fatih Karagümrük and Gençler Birliği second against third. That's motivation at 0-0, isn't it? How about going top? How about automatic promotion? Let's break off and have a look at this one. Fatih Karagümrük. And I told you, new manager syndrome. New manager syndrome is why I don't tend to be playing, like to play these matches. New manager syndrome. 88th minute. Wolves and Tottenham. Good shift from the Spuds, but not quite crossing the line. We're going to Fatih Karagümrük. Second against third, coming to the end of the match. This part of the season, plenty to play for in Turkey. Do what the Turkish Yorkshiremen did yesterday or last season. go up top. So let's have a look. Motivation, 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 the stage of the season. Won't go top. Motivation is with Genka Balicki, who with 2 points will swap positions with Karagumruk. Karagumruk with a win will retain automatic promotion. So this is one of those you've got to take that 0-0 on. Genka Balicki. Karagumruk. Fatia Karagumruk. It's getting to that stage, 1.2. This is a 109, 106. We got it in yesterday with Cosenza. See if I can find that one for you. Cosenza. It's exactly the same position as this one. 109. Oh, it's scrubbed off. What a pity. We got in the full amount yesterday on this late lay the draw. 109, 106 I tend to do at this stage of the season. So I'll be laying the draw at 1.09 to win £23. Keep my liability at £2. Laying again at 1.06. Keep my liability at £32. We got the full 53 quid profit yesterday. Motivation is huge for these two. It's all about promotion into the Turkish Super League, this particular match. So that draw, very, very layable indeed. Anything exciting? I was just going to say about a 1-1 in a Liverpool-West Ham match. Is there anything that Liverpool need to do to end that? And they've already answered me. Were they going to bring Arsenal a bit closer? No, not really, eh? Not really. But West Ham are thanking their lucky stars that the bottom three are so poor this season. So let's just have a look through the live matches. I'll be saying goodbye at 4 o'clock. And if there is anything else out there, I'll have a look for it. But we got the Chelsea-Ipswich match rolling over nicely, but it's shown you a slight Achilles heel with the over 4.5 goals. You'd have needed perhaps to lock in the profit earlier. It may be more of a hint than an outcome market, meaning you're playing the hint that there'll be 5 goals rather than needing 5 goals. So maybe cashing out a bit earlier there would have produced the profit. Liverpool, West Ham, I was going to mention any huge motivator for a late winner. Certainly for West Ham. No, not because Ipswich are so poor. And there's that equaliser, Kayserispor, Kazim Pasa. Did we play this one? Let's have a look. No, I didn't. I thought it was on my radar. With a red card in tow. Yes, indeed. I wanted to play it, didn't I? But I couldn't find an angle. Lay the draw would have been the angle, wouldn't it, late on? So sorry, I missed that one. Lay Kayserispor late on. Rather than being neutral, at least keep your liability low if it's not neutral. Oh, Saint-Etienne. Bonjour, Rudders. 3-3 against Brest. Well, they've done all the hard work. This is another 109, 106 for me. Wow. What a brilliant performance. Waiting for 3 points now. With home advantage, the home support are going to be going absolutely crazy. 1.09 to win £23. 1.06 to win 32. Neutral, again, involving both teams. I'm really rooting for Saint-Etienne here now. What has this done for their season? Saint-Etienne and Brest. Let's have a look. Even 1 point could save the day. 24, they are within touching distance of Le Havre, though, but 2 consecutive wins now for Le Havre against Montpellier yesterday. Oh, boy. Saint-Etienne really could do with an extra 2 points, couldn't they? How about Brest? An extra 2 points brings them to 46 and within a shot of Nice. So, yes, that 3-3 does look layable, doesn't it? 109, 106. Can we get a late winner in the bag? So let's work through. Still at 0-0 now, just to rub it in for you delayers. Would you not fancy this as a free bet? Watch this one. 40 quid. £400 free bet. If you'd laid over 0.5 goals at half time and waited to lay Fiorentina at 108, £541 profit. You could just play the waiting game now if you laid over 0.5 goals and didn't pull the trigger. You could be waiting. Can I get 103, 102 for 40 quid? 571, that could be. If you get a single goal, doesn't matter who scores. Remember, doesn't matter who scores. 105, upping that £40 to 800 quid return. Don't forget, a free punt. Wish I'd stayed in. I got in far too early. 104, £1,000. A cool, grand, free punt. How about that? I just hope it doesn't end 1-0. Oh, this is the kind of match I wait for. And then you have a really good punt at very, very big money. Chelsea and Ipswich, I don't know if you want to lay the late draw. We've already got involved. But laying the late draw, of course, is a neutral play. So Fiorentina Parma worked out absolutely superbly for that strategy. We got in a really good value bet, not the best value. 1.21 the draw currently. Again, is this another 109, 106? European ambitions for Chelsea, don't forget. Could be upgrading their league positions with another win on the board. 0-0 it ends. Do we lose? We break even. Superb. It's the beauty of neutral play, isn't it? If you're backed Fiorentina to score and they haven't scored, there you go. So at 2-2 at the moment, doing very little for Ipswich, but for Chelsea, 3 points. An extra 2 points takes them to 56. And just upgrading their league position as well, keeping Aston Villa at bay. They can still be caught by Aston Villa and Newcastle. That, I suppose, is why Newcastle are odds on a bit later on today. That makes sense all of a sudden. 3 consecutive wins as well. If you're going on ultra recent form in a Man United match, of course, you're solidly with Newcastle. So late the draw is available. Chelsea and Ipswich and Saint-Etienne and Brest. Chelsea v Ipswich is an obvious lay the draw if you fancy that one. Chelsea could just upgrade their Champions League positions with a win. Saint-Etienne and Brest, if you want to lay the draw there, 3-3, the winner takes it all. You're going to get very, very short odds there. Oh, Saint-Etienne fans can't ask for much more than that, can they? 3 goals in front of home support against a side who have been involved in Europe this season. Superb stuff. Stuttgart Werder Bremen. Red card now. This is another one for our technique or idea. Let's give it a go. Stuttgart and Werder Bremen. Laying over 2.5 goals. Again, don't forget this is purely experimental mode, but I think we've learned a lot today about neutral. It is doable, but maybe you might have to cash out earlier. So laying over 2.5 goals. Oh no, Stuttgart aren't leading. Hang on, laying over 2.5 goals and then laying the draw. So let's see. I've done this wrong. It's got to be stake. So let's start again. Laying over 2.5 goals covers the 1-1 scoreline. Now, if we're going to go neutral, We want to be laying the draw, don't we? Are we going to make a profit? Because we've got that red card in play. Laying the draw now. £32 profit there. And again, same £22 loss there. So we will make we'll actually make a net profit. So maybe this is one of those for higher stakes. Because if the 10 men score, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the 11 men to score, sorry. Because then these draw odds will hit double figures because they'll be doubly impacted by the red. So we will make a net profit, indeed. Just confirm that. £22 loss here. It's going to be a very poor net profit. And 31 here, make a tenner. But it's experimental mode. It's a difficult one, isn't it? We want to be able to capture if Werder Bremen score the next goal, but we want to cover the 0-0. Maybe you could back Werder Bremen. No, that wouldn't cover the 1-0, would it? It doesn't cover either player. Now we've got a red card. No, we've got a second red card, have we? No, that's Nick. So I'll keep that one going anyway and see what happens. Could be a net £10 profit. We've got to try it out anyway. How do we take advantage of draws with the red card with insurance? Maybe we should have done that here, shouldn't we, at half time? No, we couldn't because the red card came there. So difficult one. Could be another one you just delay. It's a good strategy when it's a lead, when there's a side 1-0 up, red carded and leading. So maybe not applicable to this. But you'll still make a net profit if Stuttgart score and the match ends in a win rather than a score draw. So 4 o'clock coming to an end here. It's been a beneficial live stream. Not too many trades, lots of neutral ideas. And I'll be doing some more investigating with artificial intelligence as well to see if we can come up with some more ideas to go predominantly or have an alternative of going neutrally in these matches, which will save you from all of that pain. A 0-2 lead in a cup match against a 1.48 home favourite, Birmingham. Well, not home favourite, but Birmingham at Wembley. Wow. Do you fancy that one? No shots on target for Brum. It is a cup match. I don't tend to play the cup myself. Up to you if you fancied it. Steros Tripolis, recent form winning. Recent form winning. Recent form winning. Recent form not winning just yet. Recent form drawing. So it's a good way to have a quick gauge, isn't it? What have we got upcoming? I'll say goodbye at 4 o'clock. Let's just have a look through. Man United's the only real appeal late on. Probably the Italians and the Spanish. So let's have a look there. Newcastle Man U. Now you know the motivating factor is that Newcastle European places. I don't play Man United. Man United Europe as well. Yes, that's why they're not fancied today. That makes all making sense now, isn't it? Lyon. Newcastle was stolen money today. Sorry, Man United. In the La Liga, we've got a couple of odds on favourites, Angers and Lyon. Eintracht Frankfurt odds on against Heidenheim, who need some points. Italy, Como been in excellent form under Cesc Fabregas against Torino, and we've got not only have we got a Roman derby, we've got a promotion, got a European playoff derby as well. Fascinating match, Lazio and Roma a bit later on. Ajax 1.33 favs, and Spain. Real Betis. Don't forget Atletico Bilbao involved in Europe, so it might be a quietish evening. Unless we have strong in-play stats. Betis involved in Europe as well as Atletico Bilbao, so just takes it a little bit off that one. Real Madrid red carded, as you can see. I'm going to say goodbye to you now. It's been an interesting session where we've been looking at predominantly neutral markets. So I hope it's opened your eyes that the neutral markets are there to play, as is the traditional markets like the Chelsea match odds. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks very much for coming along. And as Sean says, that red card for Real, but it is pre-Champions League for Real Madrid as well, so I won't pile in just yet. Have a great day. Thanks very much for coming along, and I'll see you on Telegram if I can find any strong plays this evening.